Hello everyone, and welcome to my Harley docking hardware install video. If you're here watching this video, you're probably like me and you ordered either the sissy bar docking station or the luggage rack or touring pack hardware kit, and you've found that there's not necessarily the most in-depth detailed videos out there, although there are a couple which helped me get started. And then also that the instructions, while they're detailed, it's all written, and if you don't know what it is that they're talking about exactly, it's awfully difficult to figure out which pieces go where. So I thought I'd go ahead and create a video, maybe try to help a few people. I'm going to install both docking kits. I'm going to install the front for the sissy bar, and then also I'm going to put a luggage rack on here, so I'm going to install that kit also. There's two part numbers, for those kits. You've got a 53804-05 is for the front docking kit, and 53804-06 is for the rear kit. As you'll see here, there's a exploded diagram of how things go together, but what I end up finding is there's a lot of extra pieces that came in the kits. These are extras. Some overlap between the kits, say in case maybe you were only going to install just the sissy bar docking, then you would have all the parts needed. If you were only going to install the rear, then you would have parts needed for that one, which would actually overlap with the front dock. So here you'll see the parts that have come with, and I'll show you the tools I ended up using. I got a number 10 wrench, I got a 7/16, a 1/2 inch, 9/16, 11/16, and I also have a 3/16 Allen wrench. Then I used a 7/36 Allen 1/2 inch socket, an extension, and also a nice big heavy duty Phillips head screwdriver. Here are the parts and exploded detail of how they're going to install into each bracket. That was probably the hardest part, or maybe it wasn't even hard, it just took me some time to figure out what went where and made it fit correctly. Here's what we're going to start off with. You're going to remove these pieces, or these bolts. These two here, those got to go. You may use them somewhere else if you'd like. And then also remove the rear saddle bag. My air input, this bracket has to come off. These are going to be installed down here on this bracket here. They're going to go in down here. I'm going to remove this because you've got to put a dock here, and the front saddlebag can stay. To get this out here, you may end up needing to pull this up, and you can get under here and remove that. But what you'll end up seeing is we're going to install, this is for the rear, this is for the front. These will actually overlap, and you'll see screws here which you'll be inserting. I've also noticed, and you'll see, I'm going to show you on the other side, my rear saddlebag, for whatever reason, I don't know why Harley shows to install it on top of the rear, but I've decided to leave mine underneath, and I'm going to show you here what I did on the other side. Now this one's complete, and Harley tells you, and in their instructions, they have you putting this saddlebag bracket on the outside of this bracket which we install, and I'm not quite sure why they do that, because it's going to push your saddlebag out just that much further, and I really like where it sits, nice and even with the rear fender. So you'll see here where, starting up front, we're going to install this mount here, and you're going to want to make sure that this little rounded part of the bushing is made way for the shock. Of course, we don't have air here, but those will be moved down here on the other side. We're going to have this bushing with hex head, washer, bushing, washer, and then a nylock nut on the back. I have a spacer here. You may need different spacers maybe to get outside of. This actually works fine for me. And then we're going to bushing here for the rear where it locks in, and then this little Allen screw that goes in the bottom here. So that kind of gives you an overview of what everything looks like installed. That's it. Actually, it's pretty easy once you, if you knew exactly what order they go in, what's extra, and what's necessary. Give you another quick shot of what I got going on here. Might help put these in order. That way once you remove the bolts you need to remove, you can quickly install these. I kind of put everything in, left them loose so I can make some adjustments. I put the sissy bar in and the luggage rack, and then I can kind of make some adjustments and then tighten things up. Be right back. Okay, so I got the whole right side completed, all the hardware installed. While installing this side, I realized I had previously laid out some hardware in the wrong configuration. I had some pieces that I needed to switch out, so I apologize for that. I'll show you what I did here. This mount right here, I needed a wider spacer. Earlier I had this one laid out. What I actually ended up going with was a little bit wider offset. So also this bolt right here, I had a bit longer laid out to use, and I ended up going with a little bit shorter one. And then here I'll show you, see how I went underneath with my saddlebag bracket. Harley's picture shows it going right here on top, but I don't want to push my bag out any further. So, and it installed just fine going underneath there. I did use a little bit of blue thread locker on this one here because there's really no resistance. So, and I need to stop before smashing that bushing all the way in. You don't want to do that. You want to leave room to be able to install the sissy bar. So I did use some blue thread locker, and then I also did end up using a T40, which was to remove these from up here. So I forgot to mention that earlier. I ended up needing another 1/2-inch wrench. A couple other wrenches I had to pull, a 15mm and 11/16 wrench. I did end up having to pull. So other than that, though, everything was spot on. You see where I rerouted my air for both shocks. If you have one on the other side, that's fine. There's mounting holes on the other bracket on the opposite side. You can mount that and remove it. I did put the bolts back in up under here. I did have to pull this piece up, remove the bracket for the air input, put the bolts back, and then reroute. You can see my lines here kind of hang down a little bit, and I don't think it's going to be an issue. They do mention, I think, in the instructions that you could tie wrap them, put a tie here, but I don't have enough give to be able to do that. So I think I'm going to leave mine ride like that. Not a problem. So at any rate, everything's put on, and you can see here I got my bag reinstalled on this side. I did end up using some blockers on here instead of the quick twist bolts. I'll show you real quick because I like these, and I can just twist those off. Not as quick as the others, but I was having trouble with mine. I always wanted to hang up, so I just installed those also. So looking good, and I'll go ahead and put the sissy bar and luggage rack on and show you how it all mounts up here in just a minute. I did want to mention real quick that the aftermarket kits that I bought separately off of eBay, $28 each or less, and I got them out of eBay. And although they're probably not exact best quality as the Harley Davidson said. They work really well for probably, what, I don't know, half or a third the cost. So I can provide a link in the description as to where I got those, but you can find them on eBay pretty easy. Problem was, of course, was either they didn't come with instructions, and neither one of mine did. So got everything put on here. Here's sissy bar. Here's the whole reason we did this. Sissy bar in, and my luggage rack. And sometimes it takes a little bit of forcing in. And we are good to go. So, thanks for watching. Have any questions, leave me comments, and I'll do my best to try and answer. Safe travels.